Hey everybody, welcome back to the Grognards Computer Corner, and it's been a while since we've been here, hasn't it? It's been about a month since I've gotten any videos out. Anybody who's known me or watched the videos or listened to the podcast for any length of time knows that I'm kind of a disabled combat veteran, which is, it's kind of a misnomer. I am a combat veteran and I am disabled, but the two really don't have too much to do with each other. I wasn't disabled due to combat operations. I was disabled when combat operations were occurring, but not through combat. It kind of messed my knee up when I was in the service a little bit. And knee injuries are a big no-no, so I kind of hid that from the docs and got over it relatively quickly. But I went ahead and re-injured it about 5 years ago doing some yard work. And every once in a while, my knee likes to lock up, swell up, do whatever, and it's the most agonizing pain I've ever had in my life. Basically, I've been 3 of the last 4 weeks, I've basically been reduced to living in my recliner because it's the only comfortable place in the house. And of course, dealing with the VA after multiple X-rays, MRIs. Well, could be a torn meniscus, could be torn ligament, could be gout, could be so. They don't know what the hell's going on. Suffice to say, this is about the 4th time in the last 3-4 years this has happened, and it lays me out flat. But I'm back. Yay! So while I was in my convalescence period, I got a lot of ideas and a lot of things I got in my mind that I want to work on. I got a couple different computer programs that I want to take a look at. One of them we're going to be taking a look at today. I got a couple tabletop games I want to get to the table. Do some video playthroughs of that. Sixth Fleet from Victory Games. One of my favorite game systems of all time. We're going to be breaking that out on the table. We're going to be doing a game from the Relic Closet that maybe not a lot of war gamers know about. It's not a traditional historical. It's more of a sci-fi fantasy, but I'm going to keep that as a surprise. And I got really turned on to one of my colleagues in the video blogging community, Marco Lyons, MJ Lyons. You should really go check out his video blogs on YouTube. MJ Lyons, Lyons, really good stuff. He kind of turned me on to GMT's series, Great Battles of the American Revolution. Really nice, quick, simple system. Several games in the system. Looking at doing Germantown, looking at doing that on Vassal. So we're going to get some gameplay on that as well. So got a whole bunch of projects coming up, a whole bunch of stuff I want to get to, and just need to find the time to start doing it. So that's what we got coming up. Also, I just wanted to give a quick shout out real quick. One of the Facebook groups that I actually moderate, the No Offense Wargaming now, the head moderator over there, John Sleeper, has decided that he's going to do a raffle drawing. And basically, it is a raffle drawing for Decision Games Atlantic Wall. Yeah, their monster game, Atlantic Wall. Now, for those of you who don't know Atlantic Wall, it retails for $245. It has 4,500 counters in it, 7 map sheets, all measuring 22 by 32. It is a monster war game, and John is raffling this off. Basically, what you do, go to the No Offense Wargaming Facebook group, and I'm pretty sure he's got it stickied on there. I yelled at him to sticky the information on it. But basically, it's $5 per entry, and you can have a maximum of 5 entries done through PayPal to John Sleeper, and basically all the proceeds minus shipping and handling to whoever wins it will be donated to Vassal. And for those of you who know and love Vassal, I think this is a great thing. I don't use Vassal that much, but I do use it, and I think this is just a great thing that John's doing, that he's raffling a monster game off, and all the proceeds are going to go as a donation to Vassal. I think the drawing is going to be August 1st, 2016, so hopefully you'll catch this video before then. But again, if you don't know how to get to No Offense Wargaming on the Facebook group, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section. I'll be able to direct you to it. probably direct you to the video that he put announcing it. So again, kudos to John for going ahead and doing this. And I'm trying to think if I've got any other news in mind. I'm sure I do, but as we know, I do stream of consciousness, and I'm not a clever man. You would think with having a month of convalescence, I would know exactly what I was going to be saying when I came back. No, not going to happen. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the game we are looking at today. And yes, this is my lovely wallpaper. I love that. I made that myself. And I should probably shut out Facebook so I don't get any announcements from it. Okay, we are taking a look at John Tiller's campaign series. And if you watched my videos that I was doing on his modern campaign series, the Fold to Gap 85 scenario I was playing, I mentioned his campaign series. Campaign series he did for Talon Soft back in the mid to late 90s. And it was East Front 2, West Front, Rising Sun. And then a few years later, he did Middle East campaigns, Middle East conflict. I can never remember the name of it. Probably one of the highest rated hex encounter war games of the 90s. Just massively, massively popular. And anybody who have managed to play it, I don't think I have ever heard anybody who ever said anything bad about it. Fortunately, it is a little tough to get your hands on now, the original discs, but Matrix Games / Slytherin, whatever you want to call them, has managed to get the rights and has republished East Front, West Front, Rising Sun, and then they've got a separate expansion or a separate game for the Middle East campaigns, just basically called John Tiller's Campaign Series, as we're looking here on the screen. And it basically takes East Front, West Front, Rising Sun, combines all those games together, and it goes for retails for $29.99 for the digital download. And honestly, what you're getting out of this is massive. The 3 games together have over 350 scenarios. And that's not even including all the campaign stuff that's in there. Great deal if you're a fan of old school hex and counter computer games. And even if you're not, I would really recommend going over there while you're watching the video, obviously, to get an idea of what it's like. I think the Middle East campaigns retails for about $40. It's a little bit more expensive. He did it a few years later and he updated the engine on it. The really cool thing about this is within the last few months, I want to say 3-4 months ago, Matrix actually released an update and a patch to the game system for a game that's basically been out of print for 20 years. Updated scenarios, new tutorials. They kind of fiddled with, from what I can understand and what I saw, some of the sound files, some of the graphics files. So I just think it's really cool that Matrix took a game from so long ago and modified it a little bit and addressed issues that people are still having with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into it, and I'm going to apologize. The sound is going to blow your eardrums out. Nothing I can do about it till we actually get into the game. And we're just going to go ahead, like I said, we're going to go ahead and jump into East Front. Can't do anything about this sound. I wish I could, but I'll try to speak over it. But there are just massive numbers of scenarios. So let's just go ahead and pick one at random. There we go. Oh, I wish there was a way I could turn that off. There's not. If you remember me going over John Tiller's modern campaigns, you're gonna see a lot of the same interface. He took basically his engine from the campaign series and transferred it to all of the more modern stuff that he's doing. So here we have AI selection, access, and allies. AI, you have your advantages, you have your rules. Not quite as many rules as there are in his more recent releases. But let's just go ahead and leave AI's. Yeah, we're not even going to turn Fog of War on. So let's just go ahead and jump in. I think I already turned the sound off of this. But this is a game I like playing in 3D mode. Now, I actually hope, since this is a game that I think was originally written for 720 by something DPI, graphics may be a little bit fuzzy. For its time, they were fantastic. And honestly, the 3D graphics in this are far superior to the engine that he's running nowadays. So the 3D view is what I like to play in. And here's, of course, your zoom up view. And I mean, you can take a look, orchards, forests, orchards, roads, hills, railroad. And here's your infantry. Here's an anti-tank gun, 45 millimeter anti-tank gun. Your rifle platoon, machine gun, and, scrolling around. So you got some PZ2Fs, some PZ38Ts. I mean, it's just really, really good for its time unit graphics. Let's go ahead and zoom out. And here's the second zoom out mode for 3D view, which again, that's a big scenario. I mean, the graphics are pretty. Ooh, let's take a look at the city. Didn't even see. So yeah, I mean, it's late 1990s graphics, but honestly, they still hold up pretty well. I mean, you can still tell what everything is. You got the zoom out. Of course, here are your victory locations everywhere. And just like his more modern series of games, it's got 5 zoom modes to it, or 5 different map modes to it. Here's the extreme 3D zoom out mode. If you want a big overall view of everything. Then you've got the 2D mode, and the 2D mode is actually pretty good. I would probably say with Tiller's more modern works, the 2D mode is much better in the modern works, whereas the 3D mode was much better in his original stuff. So here's the 2D kind of zoomed in view. And I mean, it's perfectly capable playing. You can tell infantry, machine gun, infantry, mortar, ATG, and then of course German commander, tank, half tracks, what have you. And then there's the really far zoom out view. So if you like different modes of being able to zoom in and out, this has got it. Like I said, I normally play at this mode. Every once in a while I'll go back to this mode just to see what we have. And one of the cool things is that you can also flip the map, if I can find it. Yeah, rotate map. So you can actually look at it from, the other side. You can change the map to suit if you're attacking from the north or top or bottom. You can flip the map around. And so I always thought that was a really cool, neat. Here we have flipped. And let's flip it again. There we go. Yay. Again, as you can tell, lots of tabs, lots of buttons. I mean, you've got your units. If you want certain units at the top, you want to turn clockwise, double time. I mean, whole bunch of commands. Launch humanoid. Fortunately, you don't have to memorize keyboard commands. It's all there. And then for assaults, your reinforcements. You got your scheduled reinforcements that are coming throughout the entire game, and then your arrived reinforcements if they have any. And status is scenario information, find organization, strength, locations, objective, available air support if you have it, victory locations, and then display specials on top. It's like commanders and stuff like that. Units off if you want to just see what the map is. Visible hexes, if you want to click on a unit and you want to see what it can actually see. It's got that. I mean, it's got reachable hexes for movement, how far out, your attack ranges, and attack ranges are broken down into short and long range, as shown by the red and blue lines. Just a whole wealth of information. One thing I like about this, which was far superior, in my opinion, to his more modern day stuff, is that you can actually hit the handbook and it'll bring up what the unit is, the nickname, all the different stats for everything in the scenario, its organization, its capabilities, and then even goes into some historical background. You got your range display for your anti-tank and maximum ranges. Yeah, a bunch of good stuff. Always a little picture there. And then, you can flip through. the handbook has got every weapon in existence in World War II. You got your options. If you want to do something in the game, it'll let you do it in game. And then of course here's a whole bunch of hot buttons down here. Just for E, instead of using the tabs, you can use the hot buttons down below. As his modern day campaign kind of runs kind of the similar system. Like I said, if you know his modern system, you'll be able to, his more modern systems, you'll be able to slip into campaigns. If you know campaigns, you'll be able to slip into his modern or his more modern games. So you got the unit, Panzer 2F, strength 5, morale 6, fire cost is 40, which means, and you have 100 action points. All units have 100 action points, flat across the board. Every unit in the game. What it costs for them to move into different hexes, that's always variable, and how much it takes for them to fire. Most units can fire 2. High rate of fire weapons can usually fire 3. Of course, here's their defense and there's their assault. This game does not have the fatigue system like his more modern game system does. So sometimes it gets a little irritating where, if a unit's in a dug-in position, you'll spend, 7, 8 turns, trying to get that disrupted result so you can actually assault into it to be able to carry your way through the hex. That gets a little frustrating sometimes, especially in the Rising Sun expansion with Japan. A lot of the scenarios, the Japanese are dug deep in, jungles and pillboxes and bunkers. And I was doing a scenario last week. Don't remember the exact details of it, but I think it was Luzon. And I had this ridge line that one of my battalions was trying to crack, and it was basically an 81 millimeter mortar, a 47 millimeter anti-tank gun, a second line infantry in a bunker. Next to it was a second line infantry and a machine gun dug in, and then next to that was a first line infantry. And I basically had my entire battalion on the line, and I could not disrupt them to be able to get up there and assault them out of the hexes. The assault really sputtered out. So a little bit irritating that it doesn't have the fatigue, but I'm glad his more modern games do. So basically, this is kind of a game of shoot until the unit disperses, or everything in the hex disperses, and then assault into it. That's the best way that I've discovered that playing this game works. I've tried to do games where I just sit back and shoot, try to sit back and just use overwhelming firepower to eliminate it. Doesn't work real well. Pour fire into the hex until you disrupt the unit. Once all the units in the hex are disrupted, assault into it, start working on the next hex, rinse, wash, repeat. So this is the basic look of the game. And like I said, there are over 350 scenarios in all 3 games. So each game, East Front, West Front, Rising Sun, you're looking at about 100 scenarios plus the campaigns. Now, each of the 3 gamettes itself come with about 10 campaigns. And the campaigns are either linked or dynamic. Linked is a set number of campaigns. You have a set force. If you win, you go into this scenario. If you lose, you go into this scenario. And they're all interlinked. And, of course, what you want to do is try to get your way all the way through to win. Dynamic campaigns are a lot more open, where you can, I think the smallest formation you can run is a battalion. And so you can choose what type of battalion you want. So for example, with the East Front, it's like, all right, we start up I'm not going to go into it because the sound is going to be overwhelming, and there's just no way for me to turn that off. It's just, all right, I want to play Germans or Slovakians or Hungarians or Finns or whatever. I mean, all the minor nationalities are represented as well. So I say you want to play the Germans. Okay, fine, Germans. All right, what year do you want to start off? Okay, let's go 1941, Operation Barbarossa. Okay, which army group do you want to be part of? North, Central, South? Well, all right, let's go Army Group Center. And it will keep narrowing down. Well, do you want infantry? Do you want Panzer Grenadier? Do you want armor? Do you want, it has all these lists, and you keep narrowing it down to a historical formation until you get down to, like I said, the smallest unit you can go. As a battalion, you can run a division, a regiment, however big you want to get. And then it gives you the historical order of battle, and then will randomly generate a battle for you to go in and fight. You go through, fight the battle, except whatever casualties you get. And then at the end of the scenario, depending on how well you do in the scenario, you get replacement points. And then he goes, all right, here's the next generated scenario. And you can upgrade units like over time, say you're running a, infantry battalion, it's got some Stug support, eventually you go from the Stug Ds to the Gs to the Gs? Fs. Fs and then to the Gs. Or like with Panzers, you start off, you might have a Panzer 4D, and then that get upgrade to the F2, F1, F2. So it's a very, very, very complete and always something new to play with if you do one of the dynamic campaigns. So there's a lot of gameplay in these games, a lot of replayability. I've been playing it off and on for 20 years. And I still haven't gotten through all the scenarios. Sometimes I'll do, but what I usually do is about once a month, I'll sit down, I'll break out one of the scenarios, and I'll cycle through. It's like, all right, we're gonna do East Front, then West Front, then Rising Sun. Do a scenario from East Front, do a scenario from West Front, do a scenario from Rising Sun, and then a month later I'll come back. All right, let's do the next scenario from East Front, then West Front, and Rising Sun. Or I may decide I want to do a dynamic campaign, what have you. Extremely fun, extremely deep. There's a lot to it. This is a very robust. Like I said, I've been playing off and on for 20 years, and I haven't gotten through everything that there is in it. I don't think I'm going to do a playthrough. We kind of saw how the playthrough went with when I was doing Next Stop Aschaffenburg for Fulda Gap 85. And I don't know if I want to jump into doing that. Maybe something smaller, something more manageable, something where I'm not running as a Warsaw Pact traffic coordinator. But it's all up to you. I mean, if you guys want to see me sit down, break out one of these scenarios, do a playthrough with it, more than happy to. Tell me what you want: East Front, West Front, or Rising Sun. I don't care. If you want to see me play it, leave a question, leave a comment, and we can go ahead and do that. But yeah, like I said, it's been a while since I got a video out. I wanted to get a video out, and I figured this is a good time to highlight on John Taylor's campaign series. Can still be picked up at Matrix Games, and I would really recommend you check it out. And that's all I got. Hopefully, I'll be able to get another video out here real soon now that I'm on the road to recovery. As always, appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate all your support. Questions, comments, complaints, concerns, criticisms. Yeah, it's been too long since I've done this. I think that's everything. Leave them in the comments section. I love it. Talk to y'all later. See ya.